And I believe we are live. Welcome back to Making Sense of Real Estate. Bill Jones here at RE/MAX Unlimited Results Realty, joined by none other than Mr. Mike Homan of the Mike Homan team, our local real estate expert we brought in for the day. Thanks for joining us, Mike.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We talked this week, I guess this week and last, both about is now the right time to sell. It's definitely a seller's market. A lot of stuff going on there. We can talk quite a bit about some of the different scenarios we've come across, but we've had a lot of questions that have come in. So today, talking about is now the right time to sell is when should you sell your home? The people asking, what's the best time of year, to sell the fastest, best price, something like that. So is there a best time anymore? Or is it?
Yeah, I mean, typically when you go back a few years, it's always been the spring, early summer market has been the top time to sell a place, especially in Ohio. The weather is always better. Kids are out of school and so forth. It tends to be when everybody wants to do something before kids go back to school, get everybody situated, all that stuff, whether they're looking to relocate to a different school district or they just don't want to have that, potential hassle of moving when
when you're trying to get back into school.
However, the way things have been the past couple of years, I honestly don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. When you put your house up on the market, there's been a demand there that has driven that timeline of early spring, summer to, the entire year. We've had people that if that perfect place comes up the week before Christmas, they don't care. It's the house they've been waiting for. So, when should you sell your home? I guess the answer would be when it is the right time for you. But as far as worrying about the time of year in the current market, it does not matter.
Yep. I agree 100%. A lot of people say, well, that's spring, summer, maybe I shouldn't in winter, but you're right. I think people are just after it then. So, okay, here's a loaded question. How much should I ask for my home? Obviously, it's unique to each situation then, but what do you think is the best way for someone to come up with an asking price? So,
sure. So obviously our job as your agent to work for you is to help you come up with the best possible number for that. We want you to get you the maximum amount that we can in the shortest period of time and to meet your goals. Everybody's goals are different. Sometimes that's, I want to get my house sold, by next week.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I want to get this price for this house. And if it takes me 2 years to get there, that's fine. So, we take your input as far as what your goals are. And then we do our research, basically do a lot of the same work that an appraiser is going to do to come up with a comparative market analysis value on your property. And, we want to make sure that it's as accurate as possible because number one, unless somebody does pay cash for your property, which it does happen, it does have to appraise. Sure. And we have to be able to have it in a price point to have interest and have it, correct for today's market. So,
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know the appraisal is definitely a bit important part. There are a lot of cash buyers now. This is just nuts. All right. So what does a listing agent do for me here? And hey, we got these new fancy toys here. I'm going to show part of this then too, kind of while you're talking about it, Mike. Show what a listing agent can do. So,
all right. So obviously our job goes, it's a big parameter. So we're certainly not out there to just simply stick a sign in your yard. We do a lot of things from, again, starting from the beginning, figuring out, what your goals are as a seller, managing those goals. And sometimes we have to set people down and tell them their goals are unrealistic. Not everybody, some people think that their properties are unfortunately worth a lot more. And I have actually this year had clients that have had to say, actually, your house is worth quite a bit more than you think it is. So
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it is a good
just
problem.
A short walk or drive
so,
from the restaurants,
from that
bars,
point
and
on,
nightlife
figuring out your goals, working through the process, getting you all the information you need to get your house ready to be on the market. Some people, want to do things to their houses. Other people are like, hey, this is what it is, and this is how we're going to sell it.
Entirely furnished and
through the marketing aspect of things, getting everything put together and in front of as many people as possible and in a professional manner. I know that's one thing that our office does that we have a lot of pride in is making sure we're not there to just simply get your house up as quickly as possible. We want to do that, but we want to do it professionally so that when it gets brought out to the public, they're seeing the house in the best light as possible.
Yeah, that's very important. And you can't see it now here, and if you're listening only, you can't see it, but we're showing one of the videos you just did of that house you have in Columbus. Super nice video. And yeah, it shows timing. It is not just a rush to get on the market.
All Jeffrey Park
showcase houses in its best light. So, All right.
Community
Paperwork.
center.
I kind of touched this in depth here earlier this week, but what paperwork do you need to sell my home?
Yeah, so we have some paperwork.
Cool.
Some of it is state-driven as far as property disclosures and
In-house
things like that
restaurant.
that we have the sellers fill out. It's good to be as
14,000
upfront with your
square foot
buyers
workout
as possible
facility
to
operated
not
by
only
the Go
protect
Fitness
yourself,
and
but to
Training
be
Team.
honest with people. When and what they should expect, what you would expect if you're going to go buy a house. And then obviously during the process there are offers and contracts that we put together as far as the actual purchase of the property.
For more information
And
on
all
this
those
listing,
things
give me a
get
call
kind
directly
of complicated sometimes, but we're here to spell everything out, make sure that it's
or visit our
very easy
website,
for everybody to understand,
MikeHolman.com.
especially if we end up with multiple offers and putting that all together so that everybody can make that best decision and again all the way through the closing process. So
Yep. So maybe you shouldn't just pull something offline and print it up and run with it. Maybe not. It can happen.
yeah,
it can do.
it can happen. But having all your bases covered if something would go wrong is tough with those situations. So.
All right. Kind of playing off of that, then, what marketing is involved? And you talked a little bit about that, but I'm showing the video that you'd put together recently.
Hey everybody,
but
Mike Holman here with
what else?
Remax
How do you market
Home
a home? What's the best way to go
bringing
about
you
that?
a new listing right here in the heart of the Italian Village,
Again,
Columbus,
something
Ohio.
that we take pride in here and do a lot of. And there's all kinds of different avenues that we use. We do a lot of video marketing, as you guys can see. Shout out to Dead Shark Productions for putting this together for us. They do a tremendous job. So video is very effective. We try to use that as much as possible. We have our 3D Matterport system
Located
to
in Jeffrey
put those
Park,
3D
and just a
walkthroughs
short
models
walk or
together of the
drive from
property.
restaurants, bars,
And we
nightlife
also
that
use
makes
that system
Italian
to
Village
pull
so
essentially
great.
professional quality photographs of your property out as well. So these are not just snippets of your
bedrooms,
house. They're very professionally looking. We want to have that first impression. That's
Move-in
the most
Ready
important
enters a
thing.
new level.
We try to get the house out to anywhere and everywhere possible. Obviously, our Remax National site is one of the, if not the biggest viewed, national real estate website in the world.
Live in
not
modern
just here
luxury
in
with
the United
extensive
States.
connectivity.
We also utilize, the
Media
bigger
system
sites like
and sound
Realtor.com that
systems,
we have access to,
remote control
Zillow, Trulia,
shades, security,
and
lighting.
anywhere where we can get it out. So Craigslist,
Two-car
Facebook,
attached
we do a lot of
garage.
Facebook marketing, Instagram, social media is really
Two
huge.
terraces, including
So
rooftop,
anywhere
TV,
that we can
and
possibly
outdoor
get that out there, and any avenue is where our goal is.
All right, good deal. So here are a couple of questions we got.
Enjoy
What
all
condition
Jeffrey
should
Park
my
has
house
to
be
offer.
in to sell? So should they empty it, depersonalize it, fix,
Community
clean, and
center.
is the place need to be perfect?
Sure. Yeah, this is a big question. And honestly, it comes down to you as a seller. Okay, we want to have your
In-house
house as
restaurant.
presentable as possible. Sure, there may be some
14,000
things that
square
need to
foot
be
workout
fixed. Maybe
facility
you're not in
operated by the
a
Go
position
Fitness
to be able
and
to do
Training
that.
Team.
However, cleanliness goes a long way.
Yeah, it does.
So even if there's blemishes in the house that, we're selling the house as it is, and not every house is perfect by any means, but, having a clean home makes a significant difference. It doesn't have to be empty. Depersonalization is kind of up to your.
For more information on this listing, give me a call
however
directly
you want
at
to do that. Some people don't want to have personal pictures and things stuff like that. Then
or
when we
visit our
do
website,
pictures, and when people walk through your house, that's completely your choice. If you want to take those down, you can. If not, you don't have to. But obviously the curb appeal, if you can do anything outside as well, especially when the weather's nice, and do some landscaping, some of those things, buying mulch and stuff like that's not expensive and makes a big difference. So.
All right. When should I not sell my house? We talked about this. Is there a bad time to sell your home?
Not really, but basically it just has to work for you. So,
Yep.
The timing has to be right. Number one, the toughest thing that we're having right now we're working with and trying to work with sellers is sometimes it's tough to find a place to go. So we have people that want to sell, but trying to figure out and play that game of, if your house sells tomorrow, do you have any options? And we don't want people to be homeless. There's a lot of things that we can do to have some protections there. So, the biggest thing is the timing has to be right for you as a seller.
All right. And a couple more questions kind of play right into that. What time of year do homes sell best, and when are people buying homes?
Sure. Well, right now it doesn't matter. They're buying homes all the time. Typically in our market, like I said, that spring to summertime is the hottest, but anymore, there's not a cold time right now. If you want to, don't be afraid to put your house up, in the middle of December. So we're still going to have some activity there.
I pulled right before we went on here, days on market here. So Tiffin, Seneca County area, we went median days on market, 49 days, average day, so just under 70 yet. So from listing to sold day, basically.
And when you're looking at with the way times have been with banks right now, a 35 to 50 day close time, that's, they're not on the market.
That means it's going quick. Yeah, they're going real fast then. So, okay. How long should I wait to lower my price? Because we've talked about this in the past then too, just because it is a seller's market doesn't mean, a buyer's going to pay any more than what it's worth or, what the market seems fair. So
right.
How long should you wait on that note?
So this goes back to, our initial meeting and hopefully having the same expectations between ourselves and you as a seller and trying to set that price right from the beginning. But for some reason, if we feel like it is still priced a little too high for whatever reason, generally, especially in this market, within the first 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to have the most activity that we're ever going to have on your property. And if we don't get any offers or if the feedback is price, point during that time frame, I would say it's time to make an adjustment then.
Yep. So that's that happens quicker now than in years past anyways then. So, all right, I guess this one kind of plays on it then too. A little bit. What is a seller's market? We talk about it all the time. I've had a couple people ask me that. We had a question come in. So what would you define, I guess, as a seller's market? And when is it? Is there a particular time?
Yeah, well, I guess I would define it as right now there is much higher demand for houses than there are houses available. And that's helping with drive prices up. And, that's exactly what that means.
Okay. So just supply and demand is all it comes down to. So how long do people stay in their house before selling? And again, kind of a broad question, but.
Well, it just depends. We've had clients that have come back to us and moved within a year or two of being in a home. And we have, we have clients that are there for a long time. I don't know exactly what the average, I think it used to be like 7 or 8 years or something like that people lived in a house before they were looking to move, does that seem?
And I think it's gone down a little bit in this area here anyways, and a little bit from there. But yeah, like to your point, we've had people that have literally within 12 months to 18 months after buying a house have turned around and resold then. So,
right.
All right. Should I live in my house while I'm selling? That's not always an option to do or not do, I guess, but should you live?
Yeah. And the vast majority of people do, frankly, most people can't buy a house without selling their other one first. So it's just something that we have to work with. I know sometimes it's tough, especially people that have kids and pets and trying to keep the house clean in between showings. But yeah, it's definitely an option. We work through it. We try to, coordinate everybody's schedules, give you guys plenty of notice. So that way, showings aren't, happening, 5 minutes, they're not calling, and saying, hey, I want to be in the house 5 minutes. We'll make sure that we get all that set up for you so that you guys can be prepared.
So yeah, that's what we say is a difference between just living in your home and selling your home. So you got to be prepared for that then. So can I sell my home without an open house?
Yeah, so open houses are, again, going to be a preference of the seller. Some people aren't comfortable with just, allowing anybody to come through a home. Other people are okay with that, so it's just a comfort level there. And yeah, you can absolutely, sell a house without doing an open house. And if you want us to do one, then we would be happy to.
Yep. And especially with COVID and everything like that, it's going to flip the script on that a little bit then too. All right. I know you've been waiting for this one. How do I show my house with all of my pets? So you got your dog, your cat, your bird.
So we love the pets. Not everybody loves pets. So we need to have those pets, at least if nothing else, if they're going to stay in the house during showings, that they are secured, whether they're, in a cage or if you take them with you or whatever, for safety reasons. Even if your pets are, extremely friendly or whatever, some people are allergic to pets, so having that, aspect of things taken care of, and, they get somebody unfamiliar in the house, or if we have people that, for cats, for instance, they may say there's cats in the house. We may not even know where they are, but they can get kind of skittish. And the last thing we want to do is worry about one sneaking out the door behind us, when we don't see us either. So, for their safety and everybody else's safety, it's best to just make sure they're either not in the home at the time or that they're secured.
Yeah, I love the cat stories. The one real estate instructor talked about the cat got out and they took an hour to get the cat back in the house, and it turns out it was not their cat. So they put some other cat back in the house then. So I don't know how that story ended, but
probably not well.
Probably not. So, all right. We kind of an obvious question. I should have this one up top here. Then, should I list my house for more than it's worth? It's a seller's market, Mike. I should get it top dollar. Should I list it way over asking price, or list a normal sales price? I guess.
So we want to have a targeted sales price that meets the market. If there's demand there to drive your property over that market value, then the market will drive that demand.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to have it priced right from the beginning, and like I said, the market will drive that price higher if it desires so.
Yep. Yeah, good example. One we're working on now then too, saying it had a ton of activity on it. Yeah, I think your team ended up having the winning bidder on it then, or winning buyer on it, but it went well over list price then. Right. So the market will tell you what your home is worth then. So, all right. And then we have a special last minute question from Sarah. Mike, how do you literally know everybody?
How do I know everybody? Well, I don't think that I know everybody.
She likes to think that every time you're on the phone, you're like, oh, we used to play softball. I hung out with your kid or whatever.
Well,
so a shout out from Sarah, a question from Sarah. We snuck in there. How do you know everybody?
I can't say that I know everybody, but it does happen quite often where I get a phone call or a lead, I'm talking to them, and next thing you know, I realize that, hey, I grew up with their brother or something along those lines. And, it happens in this business. A lot of people, you get to know a lot of people, and, those connections help out a lot, because you put that personal aspect into things.
Yep. All right. And you might not know this one either. Mike is also a fireman here in Tiffin. So again, we're broadcasting today. It's Friday, September 11th. It's a day, again, we all think back on, and, a lot of firemen died that day then too. It was near and dear to everybody, especially you guys.
It's been 19 years already. It's crazy. It's been that long. I guess I'll show my age here a little bit. I believe I was, I think, a freshman in high school.
Were you really?
And, so I was in school and all this happened. I remember watching on TV, remember going out to football practice that afternoon after school. They canceled practice, and watching F-16s fly over top of the field to wherever they were going. And it was just, it was surreal. But certainly, something we would never want to forget and keep in the back of our minds. So.
Yep, for sure. All right. Well, appreciate keeping us safe, Mike, here then too. Say everything you do. And we got your contact information on there, but what's the easiest way for somebody to find you then? So you're looking for Mike Homan?
Yeah, you can give us a call. Cell phone numbers 567-224-1510. That's the direct line to get a hold of myself or my team. And then our website is mikehoman.com.
All right. And we'll put that link then here as well then. So, all right, cool. Well, Mike, thanks. Appreciate you stopping by here. Make sure to step back. We got another topic this coming week here, and we'll have you back on here, I'm sure, sooner than later. So
sounds great.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, Bill.